All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Lucky 56.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
3-19. Detroit!
To throw on 2nd down. Riley throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Riley. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Winston. Got some room at the 30. Throw left side complete. It's Holmes. 23 yards on the play. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Ready. Blue ready.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Here we go now. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, Riley. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. M.J. Stewart made the tackle from his corner spot.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, now, look at 56. 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
From the gun on third down. Riley, he sets to fire deep. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
2nd down, Winston. Wilson snags it left side, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First down, Winston. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Holmes. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
eluding the pressure right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Winston. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. The give to Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Now, they went draw play there on 3rd down around the goal line. Something you normally like to see, Charles?
Oftentimes, people are prepared for a pass in this situation, so the draw is a good call, but it's better when you usually have a lead blocker. If you don't have a fullback, you can use your H-back to pull in front. Sometimes you pull a guard to get out in front. Maybe it's your tight end, but they find a way to create a little bit of extra space. A bit of a surprise down near the goal line, but it was effective in this situation.
Carlson now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Balaj. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back to throw. Riley. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well. And they'll go on the ground. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Looking to throw on second down. Riley. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Following the interception, Winston. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And complete right side to Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Ready. Black 22. Five up. Green, triple C.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty. After the penalty, it's Jones. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Winston. Caught on the right side by Jones. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson. Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, for me, that's a good drive.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta. right after this timeout. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Riley. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
Blue 90. I got him. Back to mine. I got him. All right, now look at 56.
Operating from the gun, Riley. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Jameis to throw it. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Ready. Flag 22. Sonic. Where's that up?
On 2nd down, Winston again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Hey. Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Riley. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Riley. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 44. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A final shot before break. Riley going up top. And this one is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Jameis on 2nd down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And to the left side here, Wilson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary.
And this is caught at the 20. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 42 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Ready. Ready.
From the red zone now, Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously want. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit. Detroit.
Looking to throw. Riley finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Riley. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Escaping the pressure right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Winston. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the 3rd quarter in Carson. Chargers have just stretched their lead with a score. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
That's going to set him back 5 yards. To throw on 2nd down. Riley looking long for Thomas. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 48 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Detroit! Detroit! Black 99 Philly, here we go! Here we go now! Blue 90! Blue 90! All right now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
On 1st down, Riley. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Riley. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here's Winston. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Let's convert. Let's convert. Let's convert.
Now Winston. And Jones has it over the middle. And now look at him go. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, 78 yards. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And an alley to run. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 36. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Looking to throw on second down. Riley. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Falcons on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Riley looking long for Westbrook. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And just shedding him off there. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Hey, let's get it to work. Everyone's got 4. Ready. Blue ready. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Again, it's Jones. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bucs on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7.
Ready.
To throw, Winston. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw again, Riley. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Off play action. Riley. And that is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on 3rd down. Riley. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Throwing on 1st down. Riley. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Second and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Fake. Riley. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here trying to preserve the lead. And his kick is indeed good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On the counter, here's Jones. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Hey, let's get a conversion. Hey, sub. Let's go. He likes to get those jump balls. Hey, sub. Let's go. Boys, head up. Let's go.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Check. Lucky. Screen, triple C. Check 33. 550. Clears up.
They'll try to run for it with Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Over. Here we go now.
To throw on second down, Riley. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue lady. 5-0. Sonic.
Winston here to throw. Airing one out deep for Holmes here. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
The give is to Jones. Down to about the 22 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Ready, black 22. 5 on the 50, 5 on the 50, 5 on the 50.
They'll go again to Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run it with Jones. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Buccaneers, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as